They said I was a freeloader, a burden, someone who lived off others and gave nothing back. They praised my sister like she was a saint, sending thousands every month, caring for our parents from a distance while I did nothing right under their roof. But what they didn't know was that every dollar they praised her for came from me. I gave quietly. I never asked for thanks. I just wanted peace in the family. But in return, I was insulted, shamed, and finally kicked out of the house I helped keep running. They thought I'd break. They thought I'd crawl back. They thought I needed them. But they were wrong. What happened after I left changed everything, not just for them, but for me, because betrayal doesn't end you. Sometimes it awakens you. And this is the story of how I lost a family and found my power. My name is Rachel, and I'm 28 years old. I've lived with my parents most of my life. After finishing college, I got a full-time job and started saving money. I helped out at home, paid some bills, and never caused any trouble. But no matter what I did, my parents always acted like I wasn't enough. They always compared me to my younger sister, Vanessa. She moved to another city a few years ago. My parents always said, "Vanessa is doing so well. She sends us $9,000 every single month. Look at her. So successful, so caring." Every time they said that, I just nodded and smiled. What they didn't know was that it wasn't Vanessa sending the money. It was me. Vanessa called me 2 years ago, crying. She had lost her job and was drowning in debt. She begged me not to tell mom and dad. So, I made a decision. I started sending them the money under her name, just to help. I didn't want to embarrass her. I thought I was doing the right thing. But as time went on, the way my parents treated me became worse. They kept calling me lazy. They said I was a freeloader who lived in their house for free. My mom once said, "You should be more like your sister. She supports us. You just take up space." That night, something inside me broke. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I just stood up and asked, "Are you sure Vanessa is the one sending the money?" My dad laughed and said, "Don't be jealous, Rachel. Some people work hard. Others just sit and whine." I didn't say another word. I packed my things and left that same night. I also stopped sending the $9,000. What happened next, no one saw coming. After I left, I moved into a small studio apartment. It wasn't fancy, but it was mine. For the first time in years, I felt peace. No insults, no fake smiles, just silence and space to breathe. I didn't tell Vanessa I had stopped the payments. I figured she'd find out soon enough. Honestly, I was curious. How long could she keep lying once the money stopped? 2 weeks passed, then 3, then a full month. That's when the phone calls began. First, it was my mother. She left a voicemail, her voice filled with panic. "Rachel, have you talked to your sister? The money didn't come this month. Maybe she's having problems. Call her, please." I didn't respond. A few days later, my father called. "Vanessa isn't answering us. Something's wrong. The bills are piling up. We depended on that money." I stayed quiet. Then one evening, my phone buzzed again. This time it was Vanessa. I didn't pick up at first, but when she called a second time, I answered. "Rachel," she whispered. "Mom and Dad are freaking out. They found out I wasn't the one sending the money." I didn't know what to say. I told them you offer to help sometimes, but they didn't believe me. They're really mad at both of us. I felt no sympathy. "Did you tell them the truth?" I asked. There was silence on the other end. Then she said, "Not all of it." I panicked, she continued. "I said maybe you were trying to make them love you more." I froze. My hands tightened into fists. All this time I protected her. I stayed quiet while they insulted me and praised her, and now she was turning it around on me. That's when I decided this story wasn't over. They all thought I was weak, but soon they would understand exactly who they had thrown away. The next week, everything exploded. I got a text from my cousin Megan. "Are you okay? Your parents are on Facebook saying awful things about you. They said you tricked them and left them in debt. What's going on?" I opened the app and saw it myself. My mother had posted some dramatic message about betrayal, hinting that I had stolen from the family and ruined their finances. People were commenting, offering sympathy and calling me ungrateful. Ungrateful? I paid their rent, their utilities, their groceries for 2 years. And now they were dragging my name through the mud just because the money stopped. I sat down and wrote a post of my own. Since my name is being mentioned indirectly, let me tell the full story. For the past 2 years, I've been the one sending $9,000 a month to my parents under my sister Vanessa's name because she asked me to protect her while she was jobless. I paid everything without asking for thanks, I continued. But after being called a freeloader, a burden, and being kicked out of the house, I stopped. I don't regret helping. I only regret staying silent while they crush my worth to worship a lie. I attached screenshots of payment records, every bank transfer, every email confirmation. I didn't add emotion, just facts. Within an hour, the post had over 2,000 shares. And then something unexpected happened. Vanessa went live on her own page. Her eyes were red. She was shaking. "I never wanted this to happen," she said. "Rachel is telling the truth. I'm sorry I let her take the fall while I stayed quiet. I lied to my parents. I made her look bad, but she was the one keeping us afloat." That video went viral. My parents didn't say a word after that. But I heard from mutual relatives that they were devastated, not just because they were exposed, but because no one in the family wanted to associate with them anymore. They had lost their money, their image, and their support system, all in one blow. And me? I had only just begun. After the truth came out, everything in my life changed. I was offered a guest spot on a local talk show that interviewed people with viral stories. The host asked, "Rachel, how did it feel when your own family kicked you out while you were the one supporting them?" I smiled calmly and said, "Painful at first, but also freeing. You learn who really values you when the money stops." People applauded. That interview opened doors I never expected. A nonprofit organization that helps young adults escape toxic households reached out to collaborate. They offered me a role as their financial literacy coach. I accepted it. For the first time, I was getting recognized, not for being someone's daughter or sister, but for being me. I moved to a beautiful high-rise apartment downtown. Nothing too fancy, but it had sunlight, peace, and a balcony where I could drink my coffee without hearing anyone call me a freeloader. Then one afternoon, I got a call from an unknown number. "Hello, is this Rachel Taylor?" a calm voice asked.
Yes.
"Who's this?" "This is Harold Benson. I'm an attorney. I'm calling regarding your grandfather's estate." I sat up straight. "My grandfather passed away almost a year ago," I said slowly. "What about it?" "There was a sealed inheritance clause in his will, one that could only be opened after certain conditions were met, and it seems they now have been." My heart thudded. "Miss Taylor," he continued, "your grandfather left a $750,000 estate. The clause stated that the inheritance would go to the grandchild who showed the most selfless support to the family without asking for recognition." I couldn't speak, he added. "Your sister and parents are no longer eligible due to recent public behavior and legal findings. The entire inheritance now belongs to you." I was stunned. It wasn't just about the money. It was the message. My grandfather had seen my quiet efforts. He had known who I really was. I hung up the phone and sat in silence for a long time. Then I smiled. The family who once threw me away had lost everything. And the daughter they shamed, she had just inherited everything they ever wanted. The news spread faster than I imagined. Apparently, word about the inheritance reached my parents within 2 days. I didn't tell them. I didn't need to. The internet did it for me. A cousin had shared my interview. Another posted the legal update from the inheritance lawyer's office. It was all out there. I thought they might try to reach out, and I was right. My mother sent me a message. "Rachel, we need to talk. Can we meet for coffee? Just the two of us, please." The same woman who had once tossed me out of the house like garbage now wanted to talk over coffee. I didn't respond. The next day, my father called. "Rachel, listen," he started. "We made a mistake. We didn't know everything. Your mother and I were just under pressure. We shouldn't have said those things." I stayed quiet, letting him ramble. He finally added, "Vanessa told us she's moving in with a friend. She says she needs space. We feel like we've lost everything. That part was true. They had. Vanessa had messaged me separately a few days earlier. She apologized again, for real this time. She was working on rebuilding her life and admitted, "I don't expect you to forgive me. I just hope you live the happy life you deserve." I appreciated her honesty, but I wasn't going backward. Not with her. Not with any of them. Instead, I met with my lawyer the following week and did something bold. I used a portion of my inheritance to set up a charity fund in Vanessa's name, a program for young women facing financial abuse and emotional manipulation. The press picked it up and called it the Rachel Taylor Fund, giving voice to the silenced. I didn't tell Vanessa beforehand. I let her find out like everyone else. Her reaction? She messaged me, "You're the bigger person, Rachel. I don't deserve this, but thank you." I never responded. Meanwhile, my parents were left to deal with the weight of their choices. No apology video, no long letters, just silence. The same silence they gave me when I needed their love the most. Months passed. Life became quiet in the best possible way. I started waking up every morning without stress in my chest. I cooked breakfast in my sunny kitchen, volunteered at the charity fund I created, and spoke at workshops for young women who had been through what I had, ignored, used, and pushed aside by the people who were supposed to love them. People started recognizing me at events. "You're the one who helped her family for years in secret, right? You're Rachel Taylor, the girl who turned betrayal into power." Yes, that was me. One morning, while watering my balcony plants, I got a call from my lawyer again. "Rachel," he said, "there's been some noise from your parents. They're requesting a mediation session through the court system. They're not suing yet, but they want to see if you'll agree to some kind of family reconciliation meeting." I let out a short laugh. They had tried everything, shaming me, using me, discarding me. Now, they wanted to make it look like they were the ones reaching out to heal. "I'm not interested," I said. "Please tell the court I decline. I don't owe them anything." That was the last time I ever heard from them. By the end of that year, I received one final piece of news. The house I once lived in, the same one they kicked me out of, was foreclosed. My parents had defaulted on the mortgage. Vanessa had moved to a small town and was finally working a steady job. She didn't bother anyone anymore. She kept her distance. As for me, I was featured in a major financial magazine under the headline, "From Rejected to Respected, Rachel Taylor's Journey from Family Betrayal to Independent Success."
And you know what?
I didn't cry when I read it. I didn't feel sad or angry. I just felt free because I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was thriving. And I had no intention of ever looking back.